Oh, that tweet is all kinds of informational. Is that the word? Informative. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get my composure here. We are at game number one of a... Shut up! Game number one of a best of 3. We currently spawn here on Ruins of Endion. In the bottom right side, we have the pink Terran player. It is Beastyqt.
In the bottom left, as the red Protoss, it is Liquid MaNa.
Interesting shoutouts go to both players here, by the way, because MaNa has actually won one of these Matcherino Cups. He won a very first one. He had like a $500 prize pool. I think he ended up getting like $360 for first place or something. That's pretty awesome. Beastie recently, though, in the finals of the Chairs for Gaming Cup, I believe it was just yesterday even, did lose, unfortunately, so a bit sad to see, but Beastie's been a bit of a powerhouse in Europe, and we kind of had this stigma when it came out of the beta saying Beastie's always been a beta hero, HOTS beta, Legacy of the Void beta, he was looking great, then fell off and disappeared. I really like that we still see him playing here, though, that he's still making it to the finals, to the semifinals of a lot of these tournaments, because it shows that he's not just a beta hero, and he's been proving that actually here with a tournament trophy that he's won recently is it has the newly updated Nuclear Strike topper to the trophy.
Ooh. It looks like when you
it looks like cauliflower.
Microwave butter.
Actually, no, it looks like yeah, butter. I was thinking cauliflower, but yeah, that bubbly gross effect when you get butter in the microwave and you put it in for too long.
Thank you, Zarfield, for the 15-month resub.
Yeah, and Shamalius, by the way, donates $30 to the prize pool.
Ooh.
Takes that first spot on the donor list. And Regeltis also donates $5 and simply says, here's some money. Of course, we still have the code available, A-Move, I believe, just like spelled like this, guys. Should be worth 50 cents. So if you want to add some more money to the prize pool, we got these leftover coupon codes from a previous event. Let's use them up. Actually, what's the total prize pool at now? $189, and we're just in the round of 8. That's not too bad. That is really not too bad.
Not too shabby.
I mean, one of my fears, if we're going to be honest about this, one of my fears for this is we're doing a weekly crowdfunding session for a prize pool, and that's awesome. And for me, the bare minimum is get $100 together because that's how much a regular weekly cup is worth. More is better, and you pay the players, which is kind of cool. The concept of this really being, for me, if you see play you like, if you're in the finals and you're like, damn, MaNa earned my respect with that crazy Warp Prism move, so you donate $40 more to the prize pool, that's kind of like the hype I want to see. But at the end of the day, it's realistic and a bit scary knowing that at some point, people are going to have their pockets be empty. It's not payday, and not everyone can afford to spend money on StarCraft 2. But I love seeing that there's still enough, like, I don't know, hype/faith in our community that we've grown with BaseTradeTV to actually have this prize pool grow. I mean, again, $500 for the first week, $400 for the second week. If trend continues and we only have $300 for this week, that'd still be freaking awesome.
Yeah, the players will still be very happy. One day the players will be tweeting as well, like, you know, I'm in the finals, so make sure to add the money in, like, and whatnot, but
yeah,
it's not quite there yet. The Matcherino continues weekly. And of course, we have Matcherino teamed up with us for the Overwatch tournament we'll be doing on Thursday.
Ah, yeah, that's coming
Thursday.
up soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, playing our only watch tournament. Of course, you guys are going to be able to donate with coupon codes there as well if you want to help us out. But I think, again, for that's going to be interesting because it's going to be a different community. It's not going to be the StarCraft 2 audience that we're used to, but also, it's just going to be like a fun break from StarCraft, doing something a little bit different. Zomgrib and I have been playing a ton of Overwatch recently in our off time, and love that game.
Yeah. I am apprehensive.
Fuck you! I just saw Twitter.
Oh. Okay.
You're a jerk. Where's that? I need to find that cheeky little shit face of yours, and I'll put that as the reply tweet.
So Wood of My Drop is coming through. It makes sense. Makes a lot of sense in their close by area like this. And in fact, dodges out MaNa's Warp Prism here. But the Warp Prism does have, I think, more opportunity for damage unless MaNa's not paying attention, which is possible. That's Scouts at Dark Shrine, by the way.
A little bit scary because the probes to get pulled, but wasn't sure if that was going to be in time. Yeah, you've brought this up a lot in cast, and I'll bring it up again just to echo it, where the nice thing about a Widow Mine Drop is like it's got the potential to do a lot of damage, not always guaranteed to, but it almost always gets that scout that you want to see. Now, he doesn't know that the Warp Prism's here, and the DT is going to come into the base, but he does have A-Scan. He's got A-Scan.
Okay, nice. That was really close, too. The engineering bay only just finished up, and he immediately planted down missile turrets because, well, he's got the Dark Shrine. A couple SCVs are still going to go down, and for one DT, that isn't so bad. Was that the Warp Prism going down? That was the Warp Prism going down. I guess it was going to try and save the Dark Templar, but instead ran into a bunch of Marines and a Viking.
Yeah, sorry, I missed it because I was trying to see if that turret would actually go up if you'd have to bring the scan. But taking out that Warp Prism's pretty nice. Of course, there's a Viking to patrol around. We now have turrets in the production and the mineral line, so BC is safe from future harass. I guess it's funny to consider, but MaNa has actually gotten away with DT play against quite a few good players, and I'm remembering specifically when he fought against Reality for the Ting Open, watching how good his tactics could be over there, we'll say.
Yeah, that was really, really boss. There you go, as expected, the Marine taking the Xel'Naga. Maybe MaNa will dedicate a Zealot, but I doubt it. Or like a Probe with a Warp Prism. That'd be kind of funny.
Actually, a Probe would probably be the most cost-effective thing to place down there, considering it's like
it certainly would. Oh, lose another Warp Prism. I mean, it's such an abusive strategy if they're not prepared, but because it is such an abusive strategy, like, they're going to be prepared. And...
Credit has to go to Beasty as well, because these Vikings are not something you normally see out here. But they're safe because of the rocks. And he takes advantage of what the map has to offer for it. So with the Xel'Naga providing vision up here to the north, the Vikings to the south, BC actually has the entire south side of the map covered and doesn't have to worry about getting caught off guard over there.
I just realized the face kind of has like antlers.
I always thought those were just weird-ass eyebrows, but now I see what you mean.
The pool of water, right? That's what we're talking about.
Oh, no, okay, I see.
No, not the mineral lines. The pool of water makes it look like a headpiece.
Yeah, I see. This map keeps getting weirder and weirder. Alright, so Beasty's going for tanks and Marines, and this isn't so bad for a defensive setup. Even though he's not playing today, and I gotta question what happened to him, Botvinnik was doing a lot of these really sick tank and Marine pushes that were just blowing Protoss out of the water. Like, he was destroying them in most of the cups we were casting. But a big problem when you do come with this strategy is the tanks are kind of a weak point. Like, they're really good for damage, and Beast's actually not continuing to invest in them. They're actually swapping out to Widow Mines now. I was going to say, I like having a couple, because they've got the range, they've got the splash, they'll trigger things early. Oh, Blink Stalker, cool. But Widow Mines, I guess, are a little bit more hard-hitting in the proper scenarios, and especially if you're worried about charge lots. Because let's not forget, for the longest time, charge lot Storm was the Protoss strategy. You know, there's nothing else to go for except that. But then Widow Mines just shut it down. Just straight up, just shut it down.
So sad. That was the best strategy. But yeah, you're right. Widow Mines shut it down. That doesn't mean that charge is just impossible to use, and in fact, MaNa is getting to that charge. But regardless of what happens with this push, the Beastyqt setting up through the middle of the map, we have to recall that MaNa did a build that was just... It failed. Like, it killed 4 SCVs, that's something, but... It all failed. 2 Warp Prisms, 2 DTs, 3 DTs maybe even, and it did not work. So there was some sacrifices made, and MaNa is still recovering from it. His army supply is down by 20. He doesn't really have a solid answer to Liberators either, with only a handful of Stalkers, and they are going to try and get their range up. But Beastyqt scans the army, and I guess he's just a little too scared to stim in and win, because there is Storm available. And if you see High Templars, just assume there's Storm. Don't ever try and catch him beforehand.
Yeah. Drydias in chat, by the way, says, how does G2A work if I buy a Steam CD key? Will it add to my game library? It'll give you a CD key, which you then have to add yourself to your library. But yes, it will contribute it. I guess, I don't know how to phrase that differently. You enter in the CD key and you get the game. Mm-hmm. So we do a lot of our game giveaways too. So I guess for those who don't know, it's almost always through CD keys. So you can always just add your Steam. Add it to your Steam through there. But anyways, Alaska Winter gets a shout out, really pimping it for us. Says, if you're enjoying the show, consider donating to the prize pool. Kind of like the TLDR of what Matcherino is, I guess. Because Alaska Winter, by the way, donates $50 and says, "Woo! Good luck to the winner." Also, Lowsec also donates $10 and says, "Hype." So thank you guys both so much. $258 now be the prize pool for today. That's pretty sick. Let's not forget, we still got 2 best-of-3 semifinals to cast after this, and the best-of-5 grand finals, so plenty more StarCraft where this comes from. All thanks to you guys and to Matcherino for making it possible. Liberator's on the way, though. They're going to have the Liberator range. Now, I cannot believe the change they want to make to these things. Like, the radius being decreased blows me away. Like, The one thing I see to that though is not that they're trying to balance out for mineral harass or anything with ultras. They're just trying to make it so stalkers can work around a little bit better to deal with them. I feel.
Yeah.
I don't love that. I don't love that as the solution.
I think it's the only problem really for liberators because the harassment is dealt with fine. And the bunny build hasn't been used in weeks, months even, and against ultras, it's an answer, not the perfect one. Yeah, I think they hidden base into that one. I think it is smarter for MaNa to do that, but that's the problem with like Blizzard sometimes is that you don't know why they're doing the patch or what they're really trying to solve. Sometimes they've gotten better, obviously. Like those David Kim posts usually explain their thought process, but I don't know. Scan goes down here, sees what type of army is meeting over there, because it's not the entire army. There's the Blink Stalkers off to the left side that are going to try and harass this base, which is a regular command center, mind you. Didn't bother putting a planetary. Figured his army would be there to protect it.
Well, I think planetaries against Stalkers and Immortals are a bit irrelevant anyways. They're too hard to repair. They don't do the damage they need to. Sometimes Orbitals just are better. The meals you get out of it will be worth more than the command center being safe for 5 extra seconds before dying. It all depends on preference. And BC was trying to sneak a Liberator on the map. This will accidentally run over the base, though. Works out pretty nicely for him. So he's going to find out about the top right while he was busy trying to sneak around to the top left. Mothership Core, where did she just recall to? Oh, the main. Oh, because she's going to recall the probes
recall
over here.
To recall.
I mean, this is a clever way to get the probes over there safely. But that does use up a lot of energy and takes the Mothership Core out of the fight, so there won't be any photon overcharges. MaNa perhaps saying, though, overcharge wasn't going to save me against the Liberators and Marines en masse. I mean, we got Tempest kind of in consideration. This base is bleeding out probes on the left side. Oh, no.
He hasn't noticed. He's just been trying to control his army, make sure that the Liberators don't catch him off guard. I mean, once the Liberators siege up on a ramp that was natural or his main, he is in so much trouble. And they're starting to siege up on the army. I mean, his army's gonna have to move, and that might trigger Beastyqt to move in with his ground to that high ground.
I mean, MaNa's trying to buy time. Once these 3 Tempests come out, he can actually consider taking a fight. What with the Tempests outranging everything in the Terran army, but it's just it feels like they're coming too late and too slow, and cavalry's not here, love.
Cheers, love. The cavalry's here. Like
whatever. I don't care. I hate Tracer.
Okay.
Stupid thing.
Beastyqt is getting a planetary in the middle of the map, so now this face looks really wonky. And if he's ever pushed back, that will just be a kind of a given up base, but that's the question. Can he be pushed back? And his Zealot counterattack.
Yeah, he actually gets on top of production, which is kind of cool to see. We've talked about this a lot. We've seen other good Protoss players discussing how the best way to get around Liberators is to literally get around Liberators. But Storm's going to take out some of these Marines. Tempests are in play. They don't have a lot of ground support, but there are Archons. There are Immortals waiting to take this fight. And of course, the Liberators advance forward. It gets a little bit scary because that army can no longer support the Tempest.
But the Storms.
Well, that's the thing. The Storms actually took out most of the Marines prior to any of these engagements going down, so there's not that many to actually oppose the Tempest count. Once they take out the Liberators, this is easy for the Protoss army to clean up, but will it take too long? Warpin's coming to the high ground. I mean, this bio army's really, really, really low. DTs might just save this for MaNa, but he's still so far behind on workers. He lost that base in the top right.
Yeah, he did. Just a handful of units for Beastyqt. Once he found that out, dealt with it nice, and he's going to lose his natural as well, and that's just...
Is MaNa able to break Beasty with what's left? I mean, Beasty really doesn't have a great answer to the Tempest. And the Tempest can siege up this base pretty easily from just chilling on this side. You got Storm still ready to go for MaNa. It's not like he's totally screwed. He's behind if he decides to play macro. But if he attacks, he very well may have a chance.
Well, Beastyqt certainly has enough of a bank to not let that happen, but he's just not using it, or he didn't add
3
additional...
starports. Oh, man. He's now realizing the issue.
He's adding additional starports now, but I guess he never added on additional barracks. So you're supposed to be, like, supplementing that, and he's just not. So the planetary does go down, thanks to Beastyqt being pushed back. There's no answer for the Storms either. We see no Ghosts, so those could be a big problem. But this is MaNa's only army. He is trying to get his Twilight Council back up, I guess, to get...
He's going to have some of his very important mining shut down, though. The probe's not being pulled. He's focused on this side of the map. Liberator's going to take the fight at face value. Without Storms to protect those the Tempest, though, these Marines should be able to clean this up. So a couple Storms come down, but there's no Zealots underneath this. He's kind of running out of juice, and MaNa is in a very bad spot to actually take a fight here.
Yeah. This is going to be game. I mean, MaNa, he had that that even army supply was like, oh god, like, wait a minute, could he bring this back? Beastyqt, now he's finally got more production for his starports up. He should be using it. I know his starport's finished. He's not, and I guess the Tempest is still going to try and win this game.
I mean, BC's got the bank to start producing like 5 Vikings at a time once he hotkeys those extra starports.
Yeah, come on. But, oh my god, it's just... It shouldn't be an issue, but because of BC's lack of production, it was scarier than it should have been. There you go, the last few Tempests.
Chat has it right. BC, please don't die with 3k in your bank. I think that's how everybody feels like with Zerg, Jade, or Protoss. If you've got a bank and you die, you feel worse than anyone else in the world. But these Tempests are doing a pretty good job being annoying. Yeah, it's worth noting, BC actually can only mine off of this base. Like, he's used up that massive bank, and that's fantastic, but that was all he had. This base is what he has for mining because he's muled out and mined out all the other bases at this point. So, I mean, this seems so grim for MaNa, but he actually has a fighting chance. Gonna unload some Templar? Oh, the storms.
Storm.
Oh my god.
Really
is MaNa gonna bring this back?
No, there's the rest of the army.
Well, there's 3 more Templar,
heal,
though.
Please.
There's 3 more Templar in this Warp Prism.
Okay, but the worst case scenario, yeah, he just goes around the Tempest, like, forces them to move.
Storm. He's got more storms where that came from. He's just gonna storm every single Marine possible. Listen to Templar. But you know what? Well, this goes on. He took out the Vikings. He
did. And that army is being stimmed. And Beastyqt, are you really gonna lose this game?
Oh my god, Tempests are such bullshit units.
Beastyqt should be raging right now.
Actually, he does. Okay, no, hang on. He gets a gold base back up. The problem for BC was he was hurting on money because MaNa was pressuring this base. He was pressuring one of the most important bases he had. Now it's not that much of a problem anymore. I love they kept the Observer on top of the army too. Widowmines could have been devastating to Tempests, but Marines might kill one. He's being a bit complacent. MaNa, you're not that well off that you can afford to lose a Tempest like this.
No, there's a drop in the main base going down too. Now that's not where the Tempests are being produced. So this is like, oh wow, he actually has a couple of minerals in his bank, didn't he?
Yeah, a couple $100 waiting, yeah.
Yeah, and the upgrades, by the way, are 2-2 versus 3-3, so, and 2 for the weapons, so, I mean, it could be worse for MaNa on the upgrades front. At least he has something. Charge is not going so badly. But his DT was cleaned up at this base, but now the Tempests are here, so it's still not mining. The DT should probably go to the Bucktooth base.
This reminds me so much of the Proxy Tempest problem, though, where it, like, you're getting a lot of 5 Vikings at a time. That's admirable, but it's still going to be really hard to actually focus on the Tempest because they'll just, they'll get free shots on a lot of these Vikings.
Oh, dear God.
It's the Marines that are the most dangerous thing, though, to be honest. There's not a lot of storms left behind this. MaNa, he was struggling for cash. He doesn't really have a fourth. He's actually expanding. This command center straight up dies. There's a base in the bottom center that I don't believe MaNa knows about. He just thinks it was cleared out and that BC never tried to retake it. But this is actually BC's saving grace. Because again, reminder, BC used that bank up forever ago. This is everything he has for money right now. Yeah,
the Zealots should have definitely gone down there to check instead of just all hanging out of the Xel'Naga. That was a missed opportunity. And a great opportunity for Beastyqt to replenish with Marines, which are, the cheapest source of anti-air he has. Now, he's still trying to get, actual air, Vikings, Liberators, because they're going to be able to actually chase the Tempest over all this dead space. But, like, without those High Templars, which Beastyqt is now going to have to deal with again, because MaNa's finally got to the Templar Archives, he could have just stimmed around the Tempests and tried to kind of force a base trade.
I think it's
but now they're both going to be mining.
I think it's so sick that this game got to this point, though, because this looked like when the Liberators hit, the timing was so bleak for MaNa, it was just like, okay, this is game over. But now BC's recovered. He's got a great army in the air. We're going to have Ghost potentially sniping off with some EMPs. Storms are still going to be scary, though. I mean, those Vikings stack like this. The Storm's going to be devastating.
I wish MaNa would check that base, not only to kill BCQT's command center that's there, just free, but also so that maybe he could take it for himself. I mean, it's a gold base. It's starting to get a little mined down the CVs. Okay, he might check because the Marines stim into his fourth. But, they might just kill all the probes. He's distracted.
This is a weird situation for MaNa. That Nexus is going to die. The Marines are so dangerous. The Vikings are so scary. Meanwhile, this base gets dropped at the same time. He needs to keep this one alive.
Yes, he does. Now, that wasn't too much. So, he also pulled the probes. 28 probes, enough to saturate one base. Now that he's back down to one base, but it really does suck to lose another mining.
This is insane to me that MaNa doesn't... Like, MaNa's the one who took the hidden base this game, but it's Beasty who actually gets away with one. And up here in the top right, this is set up too with a bunker. I mean, yikes. This game is going to be Beasty's game if MaNa hesitates. And doesn't scout, which he finally does, but it's like too little too late. He's mined out most of that base.
Yeah, he's certainly gotten a couple thousand minerals from that, so that's really most of his army. The top right base was taken about a minute ago, and now we're getting another orbital command to the top right.
Oh, this could actually go well for MaNa, depending. Those EMPs are scary.
Yeah, that almost hit all the High Templars. And the Ghosts are finding it very difficult to get in on those High Templars with the Tempests.
The Tempest actually sniped the Ghost down. That was actually pretty great target firing out of MaNa. There's still one very deadly EMP left. He needs all 4 of these storms. All right, Liberators are set up. Storm's going to have to come down. He's going to blanket the Vikings with them. The Archon just needs to get under here and get a couple of shots, and those Vikings are going to fall apart. Storm's hitting the Marines, but they do take out most of the Tempest. The bulk of the work was done here. The Archon falls. No Storms are available. Oh, there's a couple more. Excuse me where this came from, but they're 10 energy shy. Oh, this game is so close.
That was so close, but he was banking entirely on those Tempests, and with all of them going down, Beastyqt's Marine count will win against MaNa's charge lot count, I suppose. Eventually, his reinforcements coming in.
His income's going to win out against MaNa. That base in the top right, the base in the top right. I mean, he's fully saturated this. Good game this call, but damn, what a good game that was. All right.
Oh boy.
Well, that means map number 1 will go to Beasty, and it will be MaNa's map pick for game number 2. We're going to go to a small commercial break because that was a pretty long game. But guys, I do believe we still have some codes left for a move. So if you want to go to the Matcherino page, use code AMOVE and you'll donate 50 cents to the prize pool. Also remind anybody, as it says up there, any brand new subscribers today, we will donate $5 to the prize pool ourselves. We're already up to 5 new subscribers, which is awesome to see. But like I said, ads, when we return, it'll be Pre-on Terraces. We'll see you soon. Alright folks, welcome back. Game number 2 currently underway. Spawning in the bottom right side of Pre-on Terraces. He is down 1 in the series currently. It is Team Liquid's MaNa.
In the top left, as the Pink Terran, it is Beastyqt.
It just occurs to me too, we were shouting out all these names earlier, but looks like Laser had one over Snoot down below. TLO lost the Hydra early on. Lots of ZVZs going on to knock out some of our favorite Team Liquid players. But my question isn't so much about how they lost or the fact that they lost, but where is Bunny? He's like the missing equation for the Team Liquid dynamic here.
Not the missing link, but the missing variable.
Yes.
Nailed it.
Informational,
I'm not sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Beastyqt with the proxy barracks. This is something that is so just. I mean, it's very non-committal. Let's do a Reaper proxy, and you could just expand behind it with only a little risk. But he's not expanding behind it. He's getting a second gas geyser, so he's going to be following up with more aggression. Whether he proxies the factory as well is kind of up to him. But to have everything proxied is obviously very dangerous. As the definitely sort of the map would wreck him.
This actually makes me wonder, though. MaNa, who has been very diligent about scouting in most things we've cast him in, has kind of a late probe scout in consideration. So he's going to realize what's up in a moment, but it is not something he's going to be too happy scouting.
It's a good old-fashioned Ghost Rush. The Ghost Academy is proxied.
Oh, the Beastie with the late good luck, have fun. Okay, so this has been something that's been kind of cool and figured out. But here's the funny thing about this. If you really want to shut down Ghost Rushes, what we've seen is full wall-offs tend to do the trick.
Oh, yeah.
Ghosts are so bad at attacking buildings. They're so good at shredding units. They're so bad at attacking buildings. Even just the triple pylon wall at the top of the ramp could really make this work for you. But MaNa may not consider that this is Ghost, and he may indeed think that this is just Reapers. And
right, yeah. I mean, at this point, he knows that it's a proxy Reaper, and he's trying to scout, I guess, for the barracks. This probe.
The probe has to scout this. The probe goes south. No!
Oh, no!
Oh, no! If he scouted
he wants to try and scout if there's a CC coming down. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Okay, so he's going to transfer probes over to the gold. This is not going to work out too well for him, as, again, the Ghosts are going to have Cloak. There's not going to be detection early for MaNa. And this, frankly, when this gets to the point of Ghosts already cloaking, I don't know if you can recover. We've only ever seen Protoss lose to it. So he does remove the Reaper from the equation. That's no longer an issue. He sees that there's still no natural base down, but he doesn't know about the Ghost Academy. He's going to move out and look. Is he using a male Ghost? Okay, male Ghost.
It's so easy to think this is going to be a factory starport follow-up. Like a Liberator is about to attack you. But he does finally find the proxy barracks. It's a pretty standard place to put the proxy barracks, too, which is why I'm surprised the probe didn't go scout it. Well, but he gets the Ghost without the Cloak.
Yeah,
Use.
I mean, better than not using it at all. Unfortunately, Cloak is so close to finishing. Tries to hide it as it runs. The Ghost is fast enough to run away from this, but he hits another EMP, and this... I feel like MaNa has actually done it. He didn't scout it, but he got it.
He's fine. He's going to get an Observer now, which, if you had 3 Ghosts, you know, and they were all cloaked, they could EMP, reveal the Observer, kill it. Yeah. They could try and just kill as many probes as possible before going down. Heck, they'd even try and kill the pylon powering the Robo. But with only 1 Ghost at a time, like, that can't do very much.
So Cloak does get to finish. He's waiting to use it. I think he knows there's not going to be stealth for a while. But the idea is that Ghosts will 2-shot a probe. And the idea for this isn't killing Stalkers and in the depths. It is getting to the mineral line and killing probes before that detection's out. But the fact that it's out means the jig is up and the game is basically over.
Yeah, Beastyqt is trying to macro out of this with a command center and 2 more barracks on the way and getting a little bit of tech too. I guess going to just use this for scouting while it burns down.
By the way, I just want to point out, the best way to learn how to counter a lot of these things isn't necessarily what MaNa's done here, but like, let's say you're a Protoss player who's losing to a lot of these Ghost rushes, right? The best way to deal with it is to actually play Terran, do it yourself, and then watch how other people shut you down. Because when you Thermal did this the first time anyone stopped for WCS, whatever that was, I went and did this on the ladder immediately, and I had a week of like just easy Protoss wins. Every single game I played Protoss, it was an easy win because of Ghost. Then people just started putting down 3 pylons at the top of the ramp, and I was like, well, I guess I'm fucked. Like, what am I supposed to do now? So whether you've got the game sense to get on top of this like MaNa did, I mean, the barracks positioning was kind of predictable, so he moved over to it right away. And even without scouting it, MaNa comes out so much better for it. There are so many different ways that this could have been dealt with. I'm just really I'm a bit happy to see MaNa take care of it, because A, he doesn't die to cheese, but B, that means we might get the A smash in the series.
We probably will. I don't know how Beastyqt's going to recover from this. The good news is that he'll have the opportunity to make Ghost whenever he wants. I guess killing the Ghost Academy is not really on the top of priority list, because who gets Ghost this early?
I mean, Beastyqt's attempt to recover isn't exactly horrible. He does have a command center, he's got SCV saturating the base, but the thing is, MaNa's moving towards a third as Beasty takes his natural. So already up base, not a good place for any Terran player to be. Cyclone is supposed to be fantastic, but it's actually not.
God, it's all the way down in the 8.
I know. Okay,
What's
so
that there?
We said it before, like, this map would only ever come up in, like, Game 7 and a best of 7, but that's incorrect, because here in this best of 3, we're actually seeing it be the ace match here, which is kind of cool. It's worth noting, you're going to see this afterwards, though, because it is the first map of both of the semifinals brackets. Again, we're going to be casting Billowy versus the Laser after this, because they've been waiting the longest. The winner of this goes on to fight against Hydra. Those are 2 semifinals, then the best of 5 grand finals. So we still got quite a bit more left here for the Matcherino Cup. And, just shoutouts and thank you everybody for tuning in. Some really good games to be had.
Thank you, Woolander, for the 4-month resub. Wololo.
Why didn't I not hear the Stimpack sound for that? Yeah, well, Woolander, sorry we missed it. And Brozazar, just in case, I don't remember if we shouted that out either. Thank you guys for the resubs. But looks like we're going to get into Core Hall Carnage Knockout. Silly map. This is going to get the Lurlock Crest treatment for me, where I don't know if I'll make a map intro for it.
Oh, I was gonna ask, you even have an intro for this? But like a knockout, like get Mike Tyson's knockout.
Wasn't it?
Oh, that was Punch Out.
Yeah.
Damn it!
Knock
so close.
You out. Is it MaNa's red fight? Yeah, look. See, this is how the probe icon's supposed to look when it's building. What is this SCP? Okay. Obviously, something's a little bit wigged out, but we'll just have to ride it the storm. Spawning on the top left side of this 8-player spawn map. It is going to be the greenish Beastyqt.
In the bottom right, middle right location, it is the red Protoss Liquid Mana.
Okay, so I want to explain spawn locations on this map to everybody. All right, so because again, 8 players sounds ridiculous and stupid, but the idea is that each fourth of the map is 1 quadrant, and if you consider it like 4 quadrants, then it's like a 4-player spawn map. So for Beasty's sake, he knows for a fact MaNa can never spawn here, and he can never spawn here, which means MaNa can only be in one of these 4 bases. And it's supposed to make scouting more tolerable, I suppose. But I remember when they first introduced the map, and before they explained the spawn locations, we had people like Major tweeting like, "What? I got to scout 7 times before I find my Protoss opponent?" Like it is kind of insane to consider that.
Yeah, it's just such an odd map. I mean,
There's some really cool dynamics though with the rocks. We'll talk about this in a moment. I gotta give some shout out though to Walgreen78, brand new sub to the channel, which also means we're gonna be throwing $5 more into the Matcherino prize pool on his behalf. So thank you so much, Walgreen, for that new sub. $25 now becomes $30 that we'll be adding here at the end of the cup. Now the rocks here will split. They share life, and you'll get a full wall off. So that's weird to consider that you can have. And this can wall off too, you can be annoying. But you could technically have like 3 bases pretty easy as any race. All depending on how you use the rocks or not.
Mm-hmm. I was going to talk about how there is a added complexity to this map besides the fact that the scouting has to be memorized like, you do, and the rocks being broken down. But the natural is kind of far away. Being aggressive in the early game, like in a TvT, can work out pretty well since you have to run quite a distance away from your main base. And of course, that wall off on the top is a little bit awkward too. As you can see, Beastyqt, I don't even know if that's a full wall off for Beastyqt.
Oh, up here, yeah. Well, I mean, you guys knock down the rock towers and really seal yourself in. Real quick, by the way, apparently I explained the spawns wrong on the map. It's only 3 possible spawns, not 4. My mistake. Sorry, guys. But the point of it still is, like, you know there's certain places where your opponent can't spawn. So, like, as Beastie, you're never going to be worried about a Zerg player spawning here. And I think that's the most important part of this map.
Oh my god. That would just look like Metalopolis. Like,
if the cooling tower only had, like, 200 health, I could actually you could justify having someone spawn, like, ridiculous over here. Because you just knock down the cooling towers and be safe.
I mean, it really would be a knockout game. Just rush. This reminds me of a couple of like the free-for-all maps they have, if that was the case.
No, we need to host a free-for-all on this.
Yeah,
map.
this would be a good free-for-all map.
You would have so many people dicking each other over though, because they'd be spawning right next to each other.
Well, this already happens. Thank you, New Abel, for the 26-month resub.
New Abel hype. But anyways, all things considered, there's also this one weird base in the middle of the map. I don't know that we'll ever see this taken. If we do, I imagine it's probably just a Zerg player who's absolutely dominated the map and creep.
Yeah, he's already trying to troll, because that's what I was going to say. I was starting to troll and talk about that. You know what's interesting, though? Like, I saw someone just complain, like, every caster, every player explains the spawn positions, because, well, it's definitely the most unique one. I mean...
It's a map you're also not seeing picked often enough to know.
True
like,
that.
Every viewer will not intuitively know how this works. Like, if you're a brand new fresh face to StarCraft 2, you're like, okay, you know what? My friend showed me this last week, and I'm kind of interested in it. And you see a map like this, you're going to be like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, there's like every single one. But it is kind of... I remember back when they first introduced... spawn positions in general, like it used to be wherever there was a base, you could spawn there, and then they realized it was, not balanced. People were a little confused, and there was a lot of discussion about it, like should they appear on the loading screen? Now it does, that type of deal. But having a map like this,
when you load in, you get those little red dots that show where.
Yeah, that's why I said now it does. But before it didn't used to. So anyway, but now it's like you have to memorize this map, so it's already like. For me, this is like the tiny things that make you feel like you're really good at StarCraft, even if you're not. Just like worker splitting back in the day used to make me feel like that.
Solar424 nails it, by the way. He says, why is Beastyqt mint? That is actually the perfect description.
There we go. It's the mint color that people were like getting on their walls in the 70s.
No, I'm thinking just like chocolate chip mint ice cream.
I am looking at this like decorative, okay? But this one of my drop, by the way, did not do very much. Got
not initially,
probes.
but this one will.
Oh,
this one will.
Wow.
Or not.
Wow.
Wow,
the
for
opposite way would have mine.
Alright, we do have a counter drop going on, though, and these Immortals going to break through these back rocks pretty quickly. BC has got a depot to keep an eye on things, but truth be told, I mean, the amount of Widowmine harass going on didn't scout, and I think that's actually one of the most dangerous parts of how this got played out. Now, the Widowmines are getting cleaned up, of course, but the Immortals is being elevated over top. This is a little bit scary. Guardian Shield going to have to be popped. The tank is going to get some shots off here on the Immortal. MaNa's going to be able to pull that back into the Warp Prism if he needs to. Yeah, a la Blink style. Takes down the Siege tank right away, but these Marines are still hammering on thick. Lots of SCVs going down as the Warp Pro pulled to defend. But looks like MaNa actually shouldn't win the game right here. This is still like question marks, but the Marines are starting to really push this back.
Yeah, that looked really, really scary. And it was kind of a clever move. And it did end up killing 16 SCVs. Yeah. They're both on 2 base. Beastyqt, that tank count is kind of important, so getting that resets as this one just popped out was also pretty nice. Now just break down the rocks the old-fashioned way.
This, even if he doesn't use this pathway, this still is very scary for Beastie. And of course, he doesn't see this, and that's a problem. Oh god, he really doesn't see it. That's a huge problem. That tank's set up to go, but this Marine's on the wrong side of it, so the tank's going to get focused down immediately. Guardian Shield gets popped once again, reducing so much damage from these Marines. I mean, Guardian Shield's almost like getting a 2 armor upgrade just out of nowhere. And early on, when there's no upgrades for anybody, that's insane. Another tank's going to go down. Beasty is dying out to MaNa on this map, and it's not in any way we thought would happen. GG. Congratulations to MaNa, who will go on to the semifinals, where he'll face off against Hydra. But not right away. Thank you to Unlimited Rageworks for the 15-month resub. But we are going to go to the other semifinals first. So it looks like we're going to have PvZ versus PvZ. And please, God, don't let it be a ZVZ finals. But Billowy versus a Laser is going to be coming up next. We're going to go to a 2-minute commercial break. Remember to stop by the Matcherino page, guys. And, of course, if you missed any of the games today, do us a favor and stop by on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/BaseTradeTV. Yesterday, Nice Username had the videos up the same day as we had cast. That was actually pretty insane. Also, before we go to that break, on the Matcherino page, we got some more donations coming in. $20 from I Would Prefer Not To, and $10 from Anton Caridian, whose name I always get wrong, and then Lib75 with that $5.50 again. So thank you guys so much. We're going to go to the break, and we'll see you soon.